Do you guys remember when I said God is exposing a lot the last year? Well, Biden just did a COVID-19 town hall type of thing on YouTube with YouTubers. And out of every YouTuber that could have been, just so happens it's two beauty influencers. Just so happens it's the same two beauty influencers who called me racist, ugly inside and out, made fun of my faith in God, called me Esther, said to defund me. All because I voted for Trump, all because I'm conservative. They called me all of these things and called for me to be canceled in the beauty industry. Yeah, those two people, Manny and Jackie, I don't know what they have to do with vaccinations. I guess because celebrities pushing it, marketing pushing it, all of the commercials, politicians pushing it isn't enough. Now they're going to YouTubers to push the vaccine. Comments are turned off on YouTube. I mean, the White House, literally, it's like a game now of seeing when they're going to turn off comments. They always turn off comments once the comments start coming in from the people because they know that we, the people, know the truth now. And that is regarding the vaccine. That's regarding everything that's happening, the election, everything that's happening. I mean, just look at the dislikes. They speak for themselves. Anyways, I find it funny because if you look at the comments of these two liberal influencers, right, that are pushing Biden, have been pushing Biden, they said that anyone who voted for Trump was racist, conservatives are racist, all these things about conservatives, right? Brands like Sephora still work with them. Beauty companies still sponsor them. Oh, but me, conservative? No. But if you support the narrative, support the science, S with a dollar sign, then you're fine. And in that video, it was very disturbing because they said, yes, everyone has to do their part. I agree, trust the science. I'm curious, what science, Jackie? What science, Manny? You will see beauty brands and other beauty influencers being like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Yes, you collabed with Biden. Oh my gosh, I won't call him president because he's not president. But they'll push that narrative and they're praised in the beauty industry. But if this would have been with Trump or a conservative president, oh my gosh, could you imagine? I mean, look what's happening to conservatives now. I point this out because it's hypocrisy. I got called all of these things, which I don't care what they think about me, but brands decided that, oh, well, you're a conservative, you're no longer worthy to be sponsored, we don't want to feature you, you can't use our products. And that wasn't just towards me as a conservative, that was towards every conservative. But if I would have pushed an experimental shot, if I would have pushed Biden, oh, it would have been fine. Do you see how disgusting that is? That's communism. That's not America. They could have asked Dr. Fauci a multitude of questions, such as, what about the research of gain of function when it comes to the coronavirus and the research in the Wuhan lab? Did you fund it, Dr. Fauci? Did you? Can you let us know? Instead of asking about all of the deaths and side effects that are being reported on VAERS about coronavirus or people coming forward, instead of asking about things that actually matter, like asking important questions, they literally read questions that were already pre-written for them. I'm curious, Manny and Jackie, how much did you get paid for this? How much did they pay you to read your questions? That they wanted you to just be the little puppet for them? Just do whatever they wanted to use your likeness? You're nothing more than a puppet to these politicians. And you're being used. If you're familiar with Jackie's content, everything is about race. Everything she posts is about race. Everyone's racist. So she asked a question about, well, what about Black communities who don't have access? She said equitable access to get the vaccine. And Joe Biden said it could be a few miles for a Black community, but it could be 500 miles. He was saying that some Black people live 500 miles from a healthcare spot where they can have access to healthcare, such as, Walgreens, CVS, where you can get your shot. He literally is calling Black communities poor. And she just smiled like, yeah, I agree. These people are puppets. They'll do anything for money. They do no research on anything. If you would have done your actual research on what's happening, you would have been embarrassed to do this. It was political theater. I would love to debate any of these beauty influencers who think they know anything about politics. They don't. They just repost whatever the trending hashtag is or whatever people tell them to post. So they continue to push the narrative that the government is pushing, right? So Jackie said, oh, well, I have to worry about other people. That's what I'm very conscious about, other people's health. So I'm getting the vaccine because I'm worried about other people. So since when does you getting a vaccine not work unless other people get it? You're saying everyone has to get a vaccine for it to work? That's not how vaccines work. But they don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying whatever they're told. Even Manny, coming from someone who said masks filter the air, these are the type of people they brought on to push the vaccine. Everyone has the medical freedom to either get it or not. That's on you. But what I think is irresponsible is being paid to promote or promoting a vaccine with absolutely no studies, that is not even approved by the FDA. It's emergency use authorization only. The same people who call us conspiracy theorists for believing that it was a rigged election, which it was, that's not a conspiracy, it was, for believing that this shot is not actually good for you, and for believing that we have corruption in our government, are the people who think masks actually filter the air, that they keep you healthy. The same people who are like, oh my gosh, like the whole nation, 80 million people voted for Biden. Like, I guarantee you they haven't watched one press conference, that they have no idea. They see what's happening at the border, don't care about the humanitarian crisis happening at the border. They see gas prices going up, they don't care because they can afford it. They don't care. They don't care about you or their audience. They only care about how much money they make at the end of the day. That's the beauty industry in a nutshell. It's how much money you make, how many followers you can gain. I really stay out of it most of the time because I don't really care what people say about me, but I would really love for Manny and Jackie to go on and talk about all of the science they found of why we should trust the vaccine. I'd really love to know. I'd love to know what research they found that we should trust the science. What science should we trust? Because there are no human trials. There were only animal trials and all the animals died. They didn't even try it again. They just went straight to people. I'd also love to know, how we have to do our part by getting it. How me getting it helps someone else. How does that science work? I'd love to know. I'm so intrigued. It only makes sense that if conservatives like myself are going to be canceled from working with brands because I'm conservative, I think we should be fair, right? The left is all about fairness and equality and inclusivity. So how about brands also stop sponsoring people who are liberal and talk about politics? Let's make it fair, right? They're all about that. So let's not only cancel conservatives, let's cancel liberals too, right? Their rules, not mine. I think everyone should be able to speak their political voice, and I think everyone should be able to have a job and work, especially in the beauty industry. Everyone wears makeup, right? Not just liberals, conservatives wear makeup too. One of the reasons why conservatives have been canceled recently is because we've been quiet for far too long. We've allowed ourselves to be pushed over. No more. If they're going to cancel conservatives for our views and not allow us to work in industries, so might as well tell them how we feel about it. Might as well be loud about it. Might as well not support brands that do that and let them know that it's not okay, because they are louder, right? They go and they try to cancel everyone for their beliefs and their opinions, which is wrong. We don't do that. I don't believe in cancel culture. However, you should be loud and express your opinion when people are doing things that are wrong. When brands are supporting influencers who act out like this, who call people racist, who do all these things, and it wasn't just to me, they also called their audience racist if they were conservative. They did a lot of stuff, and silence. No one spoke out against it. It's time to speak up. I know several conservative influencers who have briefly spoken up on their views and have been dropped by brands, which is how they make their living. But these same brands continue to sponsor liberal influencers such as Jackie and Manny, and it's no big deal because conservatives are quiet. We don't say anything. We don't believe in cancel culture. Well, it's time to start playing a little bit by their rules and not cancel people for their views or their beliefs. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but letting brands know that it's not okay and that we're not going to support these brands and we're going to stand up for our beliefs because we have every right to our beliefs as they do. We have every right to do our own research, to be free thinkers, and to not go with whatever the mainstream is telling us just because Hollywood or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube tells us to. Without we, the people, spending our money at the brands, they're literally nothing. So we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're going to call out lies and call out BS when we see it.